Okay, well, it's been another while since I made YouTube videos. I wanted to try making YouTube videos, but I never could get around to doing it. I've just been really terrible at it. I just, every idea I have is a flop. Doesn't mean I'm going to give up. Like I said in my last video, if the idea I have ain't going to work, I'm not going to give up. I've really, don't know what to say. Like I said before, I just used my camera on my phone. Um, I really just like to talk and blow off steam, really, more than anything. It's, you know, I really, I really haven't done much with my life, really, so much. I have had a lot of run of bad luck lately. You know, and I'm someone that has bad luck a lot. It seems like, but with the grace of God, I'm still alive. Um, I really didn't. Like all my other ones, I didn't script this. I had ideas of what to do before. I really wanted to talk about some things, and I just didn't talk about them. And I feel bad. Um, in my last YouTube video, I talked about doing that ASMR or whatever that stuff is, the talk whispering and stuff, the making sounds and blah blah blah. But yeah, I like watching them videos, but they help me relax. But I just ain't that kind of person to make them kind of videos. Um, I really had some bad things going on. I guess I really don't know who to talk to at times and stuff. I guess a lot of times I like to rant and rave about relationships that go bad. So yeah, it's been over a month now, so I can talk about my last relationship. I guess it was a sad, sucky thing to go through. That how it ended wasn't the best. I I did love her, but I felt the love dying and stuff, and she I tried my best to make her happy, and it obviously didn't work. And then something happened, and so I got kicked out. But I lost before that. I lost my vehicle and stuff, and yeah, we'll get you another. We'll help find another vehicle. Blah 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 blah. That stuff. Yeah, and when you're the only one, be pointing to me when I was the only one working. Her stepdaughter worked, which helped some things, but when I was the only one working, paying all the bills and paying the rent, it's hard to live off of that. She wanted to move to another place. I was like, okay, it's not going to make you any happier, which it didn't. So we moved. I quit my job for a different job that paid less. It was a sucky job. I was like, okay, we moved all the way from Ohio to Indiana, and I was having a job. It didn't make great money, and I was paying child support, and I'm trying to support this baby and my baby girl, and her and her kids, and it just was, yeah, it was a strain on me. And when I felt like I wasn't getting any respect. It was hard. I, I tried, you know, and every time I had to put my foot down, I became the bad guy. So, you know, I I just didn't see how people could have so little respect. You know, I loved this woman. I tried my best with her, but it just didn't happen. I ain't going to say that was 2 years of my life wasted. I'm not. It was so there was good times and there was bad times. You know, that's the way it is in all relationships. And we just weren't equals. You know, and I had my time to talk to God and everything after that, and it. I had a long trip back to Ohio on foot, and well, by the grace of God, I still was able to come back to my old job. A lot of things have changed at my old job. I ain't going to get the hours that I used to get, but I am blessed that I was able to get my old job. And, you know, people don't realize in this life that there's angels among us, and there he is. And I met I my trip back to Ohio when I was walking. It's been about a month now, and I needed to walk because I had some anger I had to blow off. I mean, I was, and walking down a road is a lot different than being on your feet for 12 hours of the day. Trust me on that, because you're on your walking on the road is a lot different than 12 hours being on your feet 12 hours of the day. You can stand on a level ground 12 hours, but when you're walking on uneven ground through ditches and stuff, that's what really hurts you. And talking about the angel that helped me out, you know, my knees were hurting. I was down on the ground. I literally was collapsing when I was walking. I was, that's how hard it was hurting my legs. And you know, it was nice to be able to talk to God and everything, because what I said, God, please help me. Please either make my knees work, or have one of your angels, one of your servants of the Lord, come and give me a ride. And I was headed to one of my friend's house, luckily, because I was so ashamed to tell really any of my family what's happened. It was happening so quick, and I was ashamed of telling my family. I was scared, you know. Knew I'd get that "I told you so" speech, which I still got that, but no more than I said, God, Lord, please either make my legs work or send one of your people here to get me and give me a ride. I look down at the ground. I'm grabbing a hold of a guardrail, you know, off the side of the road up by the ditch. And no more than that I say that, I'm looking down, and then I hear a brake squealing going, "Urch!" And then the lady asked me if I needed a ride. She gave me a ride all the way to my friend's house. And that was wonderful. God, I I don't know how many of you all out there has ever prayed that prayer, but that is a prayer beyond anything that people can imagine. When you are able to talk to God and He sends someone to help you. People always say, "Oh, God can't exist. Why does God let so much bad go on in the world? Why does He let children die? Why does He do this?" Well, that is such a hard thing to answer. And it's so hard. You know, I really don't got all the answers. I can tell you this. You think about how hard this world is. All the bad things that happen in this world. Why would you want a child to go, a suffering child that has cancer, to go through what this awful world has? You know, that so many bad things happen, but God can really, God does exist. He has things to make you pray. Yeah, God tests us. He does things that we do not understand. And if you believe in Him and believe in His Word, you'll know that God does not put you in anything that He cannot get you out of. You can be in the worst situation ever, like I've been, and God can bring you out of that. Now, I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. By God, I'm not a perfect person. I have my faults. I have my downfalls. I have my temptations that are hard to stay away from. But I still love God. God still helps me. And I really don't know what else to say. But I got sidetracked. But relationships, I'm not going to bash on what happened, what me and her faults were. We both were probably to blame. I want to say her more than me, but I had my faults too. It hurt me in a lot. I at times it still hurt, but does being single now after my last relationship, bother me? Yeah, this relationship hurt, but it does not hurt me as bad as when my ex-wife left. Because when my ex-wife left, there was so many more other things going on. And then after my ex-wife left, my mom died, then my dog, well, other relatives died, then my dog, then my grandpa, and then it was just so bad there for a while. And I went through a couple of relationships after that and everything. And relationships are hard. Some people say they love you and they're going to be with you forever, but they don't realize how much work is actually involved in a relationship. They have to commit themselves to, and you have to commit. You have to give it your all for a relationship to work. And when that other person, and you're still giving your all, and that other person doesn't seem to be giving their all, give it your all still. I don't know what's, because a relationship can be fixed, but some people don't think it can. But it can. I've seen some bad things happen. Why do you think our grandparents, why do you think some of our parents are still together after 40 something years, 60 something years, 70 years of marriage? You know, you just gotta think about that. They put it in. They didn't give divorce an option. They didn't give death an option. They put it in 100% to make it work. They said I love you, and they meant it. And love is not just saying I love you. Love is giving it your all. Love is getting down there in the dirt, digging, sweating, breaking your back. But so many people are afraid of the work. But don't be afraid of the work. You can't be afraid of the work. And it's like that, you know, people think, oh yeah. And a relationship with your partner is just as important as your relationship with God. And if you can't keep both going, it is a hard time. Both of your relationships will eventually intertwine, but you got to make it work. You got to put in the work. Now, this may sound like a bunch of gibberish, but hopefully you can get something out of what I said.
See if I can.